guys, welcome to my channel, a channel for teachers looking for advice to help them become better teachers or practices to use in the classroom. Today, we'll be talking about the pacing calendar. If you are a social studies teacher, please listen up. This pacing calendar is for you. If you're not a social studies teacher, don't worry. The tips and advice I give will be useful. And at the end of this video, I will tell you how you can get my pacing calendar emailed directly to you. This is especially effective for people teaching in New York City because the pacing calendar has all the New York City dates for middle school, all the holidays included. So keep watching and I will help you out. In order to make an effective pacing calendar, there's 3 things you must know. You must know the standards, the grade level standard for your content area. You must know the dates for your school year, like teaching dates, when is half day, when we have parent-teacher conference, when is the holidays. And we must also know what your school expects from you, what books that you'll be using. For my class, 6th grade social studies, we're using Passport, so that is also important so you can line up the lessons to the weeks that you're going to be doing the work. Some people pacing calendar just has topics, but if you actually have a book or a curriculum that your school is using, it will be even more effective to put those lessons in and not just topics. I just explained that you need 3 things in order to make an effective pacing calendar. You need to know what the expected standards for your grade level and content area that you have to cover. You need to know the teaching days you have, what days are holidays, when the students will be there, obviously. And you also need to know what is expected for you by maybe a district or even your school. At my school, I teach social studies, and my school expect me to teach from Passport. So when I do my pacing calendar, it will have Passport lessons in it. Now, if you are at a school where they don't give you a book, they don't give you a textbook, they said just go out there, you look at the standards to see what topics you're going to choose, and then you can do your calendar from that. Okay. For New York City, because I'm in New York City, for social studies, we go for the social studies framework, and I just Googled it, found it, and download the framework. I am a 6th and 7th grade teacher, so I'll download the framework for K. So these are the 6th grade standards for social studies, and there are 7 of them. So what is expected is that I teach all 7 standards throughout the school year, not in one sitting, but throughout the entire school year. And the first standard is 6.1, present day Eastern Hemisphere, and then they have the substandards. Once you know what standards you're going to do, you don't have to memorize it, just have it in front of you. One thing New York City also provide is something that we call the scope and sequence. Scope and sequence is New York City way of saying it is a pacing calendar per se. It's just not very detailed. And this is the New York City scope and sequence for social studies. So in social studies, the way New York City have it is 5 units for the entire school year. So I said it was 7 standards. So unit 1, 2, 3 are each a standard, and they combine 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. In New York City, unit 1 is from September to October, November to December. But this is very general, and this is New York City's scope and sequence. It is a pacing calendar, but it's not very detailed. We don't have the holidays set up. We don't know exactly what we're doing week by week. That is where you as a teacher come in. You need to have the calendar for the school year. When is the first day? When are the holidays? And that sort of thing. If you're a New York City teacher, I have already put this in a calendar that could be used, and if you want it, and you continue watching this video, and I can tell you how you can get my calendar emailed directly to you. So this is my pacing calendar. This is for social studies. It's already populated, but we're going to look at this blank one. An effective pacing calendar will have 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Obviously, we'll have the title, what school year we're dealing with, because every year the dates are different. But for it has the dates, the unit standards that we'll be working with, the name of the unit, and a sexual question. This is important because any effective teacher knows that there should be an essential question or goal for which the students will be working towards, and skills and assessment. I kept this information here because, um, as I said, if you want, I can send a blank pacing calendar to anyone that wants it, and maybe my skills and assessments might be something that you want to use, especially if you're doing social studies or ELA, because annotating and note taking is something I believe you should be doing in the first unit, introductions, that kind of stuff. So I'll keep that there, but it can easily be deleted for anyone who doesn't want it. What is very important about my pacing calendar and why it even matters for me to send it to you is because I have the dates, all the days of the school year, and I have blacked out all the holidays. So that makes one less thing for you to do. That's why I'm offering it. Also, you see I have like numbers, like a number 2 here, a 4 here, and a 4 here. These are the teaching days we actually have. So the first week, students will be in September 5th and 6th. That's only 2 teaching days. The second week, I have a 4, even though September 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is 5 days. I am only seeing those kids 4 days. My first teaching year, I did teach the kids I saw my each social studies class 5 times a week, but last year I only saw them 4 times, and I think that's what's going to continue. For people who see their kids 5 times a week, it could always be changed. If you see them 3 times, you can change it. These numbers are important because it really tells you what teaching days I have. It doesn't make sense planning for a 5-day week when you only have a 4-day week. You're going to fall behind. Now that you have populated your pacing calendar with the dates, again, you can go on your school website, you can go on the district website, they have the dates, they have the holidays to expect. You should begin to look at the standards. You need to populate the standards. For mine, I told you I used the framework. The framework gave me all my standards, and I know what standard I'm going to be doing every unit. So, Unit 1, I know Unit 1 standard is present-day Eastern Hemisphere and geography. I got that from my district. I actually got that from the state. The state decides your standards. I know Unit 2 is on the first humans to the Neolithic Revolution, so you put that right here, and so on. So everything is there. Now, every standard has substandards, and substandards for social studies will be taught throughout the year. All right, so let me bring up my social studies pacing calendar. So for social studies, this is how my pacing calendar looks. As you see, I have the standard, I have the name of the unit, and I have an essential question. So Unit 1 is Geography of the Eastern Hemisphere, and the essential question is, does geography determine development? This essential question I actually got from Passport. So if your school is providing you with a curriculum, you should use it. It don't make any sense inventing the wheel. If you're not happy with the curriculum, you want to do your own thing, sure, use the standards to do that. But I am using what my school had provided me. The assessments, the curriculum gave me assessments. It gives me lessons and what they will be doing. But I know what I really want my kids to do, and I do edit it. I need my kids to annotate and note taking. I need them to do that from the very beginning because it's going to help them throughout the school year and beyond. Finding main ideas, that's a 6th grade. 6th graders do that in 6th grade ELA. So I'm going to have them doing it in social studies. Summarizing nonfiction texts, again, they might be doing it in ELA, but they're going to be doing it in social studies. And I really want them to hone that skill in. Introductions, the MLA outline. If you want to know more about my MLA outline, continue to follow this channel, and I give more information. Map reading, it is a geography class. Student talk and group collaboration. These standards these skills, is something I was personally interested in, and I made sure I put in there because I want to make sure students understand how to effectively do a turn and talk, how to do a think, pair, share, how to go up in front of the class and have a conversation, have a discussion, and how to effectively complete group work. Let's look at the second week where we actually have a full week of school. Again, it's 5 days, but I'm only seeing my kids 4 days, and that is why I have this 4. If you're seeing your children 5 days, you can change that to 5 days. If you're only seeing them 2 or 3 times, you can also change that. In here, we have the standards. And I should speak of. So the overarching standard is 6.1, present day, Eastern Hemisphere, and geography. But within each, there's the sub standards. And for the first one, it goes up to substandard D. All right. So in the second week, we're going to be doing 6.1C. And 6.1C is the physical environment influence human population distribution, land use, and economic activities and political connections. Made no sense writing the whole thing, so I just wrote it here. You should always have your standards at hand so that you can always remember what 6.1C is about. And of course, I have my writing, reading, and my listening standards. So, lesson 1, passport. So development of geography, and the essential question for that lesson is, does geography determine development? Student talk is my skill and my group collaboration. So I know what I am assessing for each lesson. That is an effective way of doing a pacing calendar. You need the date, your standard, the lesson or the topic if you're not as fortunate as I am to have these lessons already prepared that you just have to modify, and what I'm assessing for or what skill I am teaching. Student talk and group collaboration. That is what I want them to learn by the end of that class. Lesson 2 is geography and travel writing. How do people learn about geography of a place? In this lesson, they're going to be reading a nonfiction text, and that is why my skill that I'll be teaching that day is annotating and note-taking. Obviously, if you want to assess, you can assess with the content that they read. What did they read about? You can assess that. But the skill I am teaching is annotating and note-taking. So in the heading, it says skills/assessment. I might not always know ahead of time what I'm assessing, but sometimes I write the teaching skill, which is more important to me because it knows what I'm teaching. Every teacher has to teach content, but you should be teaching them skill as well. Even though it's I have a 4-day period, I only put 2 lessons in there. Do not overpack your lesson. That's one of my tips for you. Do not overpack your pacing calendar. That's one of my tips, okay? 4 days, you could teach 4 lessons, passport lessons, because most of the passport lessons, the authors design it 1 lesson per day. However, you should know your students and know what you should know your students and yourself on what you can get through in a lesson. And I feel like 1 lesson per day might not be feasible. I could put 1 to 3 lessons, but this is the second week. They're still learning procedures and they're still learning what is expected of them and routines. It might not run as smooth as you want. 2 lessons, good. You're still going to be reteaching. You're going to be taking a long time with the attendance, getting students in the right seats, that kind of stuff. So 2 lessons. Another thing is if you don't overpack your pacing calendar, you wouldn't fall behind as easily. I think it's better to be ahead of your pacing calendar than to be behind it, because you're going to always be behind until you start crossing out lessons completely. The third week, I have them doing lesson 3, 5, and 6 in a 4-day week. And it's, again, by that time, I think the routine should be more cemented, and students can probably get through the 3 lessons. All right? And I have annotating and note-taking. That's something that they would have been introduced to before, and we're just building and tracking for the 5 themes of geography. So they actually look at, not just annotate and notate, but they're looking for those 5 themes of geography. Map reading. So I'm not going to bore you by going through every single thing on my pacing calendar. I would just like to say, if you're a passport 6th grade social studies teacher and you want this pacing calendar, I can send it to you as well. Continue watching for information on how to get these pacing calendar. So far, I am offering the blank one, and I'm offering one for social studies 6th grade passports. Additionally, the scope and sequence there was 5 units. If you're doing passport, there are 5 units. However, I have taught this class 2 years in a row so far, and I have only ever gotten to unit 4. Also, I don't think it's that important for me to get to 5. Hear me out before you start jumping on my case. Unit 1. Unit 1 is the geography unit. 6th grade should be learning geography of the Eastern Hemisphere, and that is what Unit 1 focuses on, the geography. Now, if you want to align 6th grade social studies with the 9th grade Global 1, well, 9th grade Global 1, they don't cover the content, the stuff that's in Unit 1. So you can actually make this units 2 to 5 and get to the end, have a full content, social studies content, and have it align with 9th grade. However, I really like Unit 1 for my 6th graders. My 6th graders enjoy it. They enjoy getting the atlases out. They enjoy doing the research about the geography of these countries that they got to choose. So they really appreciate Unit 1. Also, they're just coming off of 5th grade. Unit 1 helps them. It is the bridge that they need before they get into the social studies, before they get into more of the history content. They need that little bridge. Yes, Unit 2 is not super difficult, but I mean, Unit 1 is very engaging. But if you're trying to really mirror what you're doing with the 9th grade, 2 to 5 can work. Or you can be strict and get all 5 units in 1 year. As I said, I extended Unit 1 a little bit longer, maybe by 2 weeks than it needed to be, because I could finish technically Unit 1 November 28th, October 28th, November 1st, that week. I could technically finish that. Honestly, I could even finish it this week at October 25th. But I am taking my time with the writing process. Having students actually write down and going through the whole process as I expect them to do throughout the school year. In the beginning of the school year, I believe in building expectations and procedures and routines that I expect them to carry out throughout the school year. So that's what I'm doing. And again, Unit 2, I have extended it a little bit just so I can do that same thing with my writing process. So if you want, you can do all 5. That's up to you. Only thing, if you're gonna do this, obviously the start and end dates are gonna be different. You just have to edit this part, edit the colors, but the dates will remain the same. So you can again keep my pacing calendar. You can ask me for it. It is free. I'm not charging anyone for pacing calendars. I'm just continue watching to find out how you can get it. Thank you for watching my video on pacing calendar. Again, I want to reiterate, in order to make an effective pacing calendar, you will need to know the content area standards for your grade level. You will need to have the calendar for your school year with all teaching days and holidays, and you also need to know what your school or district requires of you. What curriculum are you going to be using, if you even have a curriculum. One tip is never pack your pacing calendar, overpack it, and be honest with yourself. Make sure you know what day you actually have your teaching days available, and you're not planning for 5 days when you only see your students 4 or 3 times a week. So now that you've reached the end of my pacing calendar tutorial or tip video, whatever you want to call it, I did say I was willing to send you my pacing calendar, the one that is populated with all the 6th grade social studies, passport dates and topics and skills, or the blank one that actually has the dates and holidays for New York City students, but you can fill it in for whatever subjects you. So in order to get the blank pacing calendar, all I need is 30 subscribers. Right now I think I'm at 21 subscribers. If I can get 30 subscribers, I will start emailing people these blank pacing calendars. Only thing you have to do is share my video and help me get to 30 subscribers. Then go to Instagram and follow me there, KingJanelle268. DM me your email address. I am not sending you there because I need these followers on Instagram. It's actually, I need your email address to email you the pacing calendar. I do not want you putting your email address in the comments below for everyone to see. So you can DM me your email on Instagram. Same name, KingJanelle268. For people who want the social studies 6th grade pacing calendar that's already populated, I need to get 40 subscribers. Share my video, get all your colleagues to follow me. I will have important teaching tips. I'll even have videos like, do you know what a reciprocal reading is? It will be on my channel. Examples of different teaching practices. Share my video with other teachers and I will get you this pacing calendar. Same thing you have to do, go to Instagram, DM me KingJanelle268 and I will email you that pacing calendar. Again, KingJanelle268. 30 subscribers for the blank one, 40 subscribers.